It starts now.
Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Please note that this podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include material themes, such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects. Trigger content, including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues. Explicit language. Occasionally, our guest or host may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert. And now, your show. Good evening, travelers and those alike. Welcome to this episode right here. This is, of course, the Orion Effect. I am the hitman, the quintessential cosmic surfer of social media.
And I am his trusty cohort, Rhonda Harris.
Handler.
Handler.
And along with us tonight, we have the amazing Jason Gray from GI Paranormal.
How you doing?
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the show, Jason.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. This is our effort to expose those investigators and researchers, those in the paranormal here in Virginia. And that's what we're doing tonight. Jason is a group here in Virginia, actually local Mechanicsville.
Yes.
And you have a significant background, not just in the paranormal. We're going to talk about that tonight, if that's okay.
We'll see.
Okay. All right. Hey,
I'll answer whatever questions best I can.
I like that.
We like it.
Yeah, we like it. We like it. Hello, and I'm gonna give the helm back to Rhonda.
Hello, everyone. We want to say hello to those that are joining us and saying hi back. Shayla Rickard and Ronnie. Hello. Ron Wood. Hello. Ryan C. Jones in the house. Renee Cody. Carrie Lynn Shellhorn. Hey. See who else we got. I think that's it right now.
Oh, I see Bonnie.
I see a bunch of people on. They're just don't be stalkers. Join the fun.
That's right. Come to the family. Speaketh. Let your voice be heardeth tonight. It's okay. If you're new to the show, we thank you for joining us. If this is one of those you just catch us, you may be on YouTube or Twitch or Instagram. Thank you for being here. Tonight's show is a focus on the paranormal. We do have Jason Gray from GI Paranormal with us. We're really excited. We had some exciting times, both parties,
yes,
us and her. So we all have paro hangovers. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. I didn't get my pickle juice, so
I've been drinking liquid IV all weekend.
Oh, I wish I had gone to the store and got some pickle juice. I'm really regretting it right now. But he offered to go, hey, you want a Pepsi or something before I got here? I'm like, yeah, no. I struggle with this. The struggle's real, folks. The struggle's real. It really is.
It is.
Oh, hello, Michelle. Michelle is in the house. Hello. I'm seeing her off the Travelers page.
Okay.
So it's the only thing I'm on, and I want to make sure, we capture all that. So,
cool.
Yes. Rhonda has the helm when it comes to the control panel tonight. I'm just like, I'll go with this. You do it that. We'll make it work as we always do. I'm not the quirky, let's do it funny today.
It's going to take the village.
That's right. I'm going to stand in the square on a chair and just go, I'm here. I'm here. Now, we had an adventurous time here last night.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
And you had some stuff. Let's start with you. What did you have going on last night at Belgrove Plantation?
We were not at Belgrove Plantation.
See?
We were not at Belgrove Plantation. We were at a haunted location of a home from 1792 in Southern Virginia. We got out there Friday evening and stayed all weekend. So we were investigating this location that has not been investigated a whole lot. We used it as a time to investigate and see what was out there, and then do some trial runs on some things we've been wanting to try out, and then we just kind of kicked back and had some fun as well. So it was a good weekend.
Well, that's great. And see, you're usually there at Belgrove, or y'all are running around. So it gave the opportunity to open that door, because we are giving a little prop to Belgrove, because that's where y'all are based out of. But however, that's great. Now, I see there's a couple of things, and we're gonna answer those in a second. But you said Southern Virginia.
Yes.
Is it a place that has been investigated before, or is it a private location?
It's a private location. We do believe it's been investigated a few times, not a lot.
Okay.
We're still actually digging into the history of it a little bit. There's some little blanks there that we're trying to fill in. But so no, it's not something we had any knowledge of what we would probably run into, nothing we could watch on TV. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, before we go in here, we're going to start in, to last night here, because it was.
Yay, do it. I'm excited to hear it.
I do have a question, however, because, my family's from Southern Virginia. So whereabouts were y'all? Because I'm curious.
In the Waverly Emporia area.
Oh, very good. I know. Okay. Very good. Yes.
Very nice.
Yep. Peanuts.
There was more cotton fields than peanuts.
Oh, well, yeah, but over in OC 95 kind of splits that whole thing. You go left, you get your peanuts, you get your right, you get your cotton. But no, that's cool. I love that area, because we're from.
It was fun.
The family's from Carson's, Newsome's, we'll call it the Southampton.
Yes, that's it, that county. Yes,
There
from
you go.
Southampton. Yep.
Excellent. Last night here at the cabin, of course, here at 360, we did a twist because Jason's equipment was on the usual side, and it was like, we've never really done it here, and I kind of dig this, Rhonda. I kind of
Oh,
like
cool.
this motif, and I see you don't have the background up tonight either, and I'm like,
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
acting funky, so I was like, you know what? Let's just go with it.
let's go straight with it. Let's go straight with it.
All right,
So-
tell me all about it. Do we want to hit Shayla's question first? or
Yeah,
do we
let's
wanna
go with
just
Shayla because it's directed at our guest. Let's
Yeah.
put him in the spotlight,
Already.
have-
and then we'll
Da-da-da-da.
find out about him in last night. So,
All right. First of all, I got to take it with a grain of salt. It's my first time doing a podcast ever.
Yay!
we're
Usually I
popping his
don't-
cherry.
I was gonna
Usually,
say, I'm glad you decided to share your podcast virginity with us.
I thought I got molested in the back of the cabin by something last night.
Uh-oh.
We'll get to that later. But Shayla, Melissa's room was my first group that I went in. I don't know if it's because I didn't have the right equipment or the right attitude, or the group didn't have the right attitude. We didn't get too much from her. She stayed kind of distant. Later on, after everyone had left, I went back in with Pungo Paranormal, and she lit up everything.
Yeah.
I tried everything I could to get her to come out, to include what kind of music she liked, because she was live during the 70s.
Mhm.
So I played stuff by like The Sweet. What's the other?
I don't remember. I know you were playing a lot of music.
Mama,
Mama and the Papas.
thank you. No,
I know
can't
you.
remember the song. It's
I don't know, but you were playing some good trigger music.
yeah,
I will
great,
say that.
great trigger music for the era.
Yeah.
Shondells.
Right.
Shondells. Think we're alone now. Now that's gonna.
Yeah, because that came across with the whole Tiffany who
Yeah.
sung first. and-
Yeah, we're talking about that business,
Right.
and people are like, "Oh no, it's Tiffany." No, you guys like born in the '90s. How do you know?
Yeah.
But after that came on, she started responding well to the like a some kind of rope trigger thing that I haven't really seen
yeah,
before.
The EMF rope. Is that the
Yeah.
one?
Well,
Yeah.
not like Ron's, but the one that had like the one long LED light that comes out of a small box.
Right. Yeah.
We had that. There was a couple Boo Buddies. Of course, we had a music box,
Mhm. That
Um,
music box is driving me crazy.
and then we had the spirit talker going on the computer.
Right.
She was very nervous because whatever's downstairs in the basement was like hanging right outside the door,
Okay. You know
looking
what?
into the room. She was, Sarah kept looking at him. He's sitting right there beside me, and you could feel a cold
Yeah.
spot right, by your legs while I was sitting on the floor. There was no air vent around on the other side of the room.
Right.
So,
Now, with saying that, there are some few interesting theories that populated last night. Look at me with the big words. Good
yeah,
lord.
popular.
I know,
Can you
right?
spell it?
No. But we had some really good. Ron Wood came out with it. Ron is
Yeah,
on
Ron,
from
Boo
Boo Paranormal Equipment. We did get to see the RW1 in action last night, and it hit like 100% chart. That I am so blessed that piece of equipment came through, and Ron was able to create it. So I'm really thankful for
Yeah.
Ron for taking my brain and putting it into actuality. So he gets all the credit. I just gave him the blueprints.
I'm gonna go ahead and plug Ron for a
Please
little
go
bit
right
here.
ahead,
Ron
yeah.
Wood is extraordinary in his
Hey,
electronic
Gene.
capabilities. I own several pieces.
FPRI.
He made his own C911 live. I'm having like brain farts. But anyway, he has his REM pod, the blue one that I had last night. That's a Ron Wood special because with interchangeable antennas. His latest, I have an EMF pump, which we used that yesterday when we were testing the different readers upstairs,
Yes.
verifying an event that happened. He has the latest invention that I know of, other than the RW1. He has made his own 360s, and he's made several kinds of them.
Yes.
Some that have the bars like usual, others that just have little LEDs on top. So, I mean, his equipment's works very well. It hits really well. A lot of spirits love it, and they couldn't keep their hands off of
Should
it.
I do the plug?
Do the plug.
The right equipment for the right price for the right individual.
Yep.
Cha-ching, right there.
it's sometimes it does get expensive with this hobby, and there's only like one main source really that people use, and that's Ghost Stop.
Yeah.
To me, they're
Oh,
way expensive, but Ron does his at a reasonable price.
I should have told you not to say the name, but that was my fault.
Well, Ghost Stop.
Yeah. No, don't say it again.
Okay, my bad.
Shameless plug, not.
Yeah, that's not a plug for them.
Hey, Sandra.
Sandra.
I want to acknowledge the people that are watching from the Travelers page because we know we can't hear you guys or see y'all once in a while. So I want to say hello to Jennifer Malick. Thank you for tuning in. My spiritual sister from another mother, Jean Wells. Thank you for joining in. Jean was running the group last night too.
Yep, yeah, Dean was out here.
So before we go any further into the cabin, it's really not about the cabin tonight. It's about you. It's about you, Brie. We want to know. I know. I'm going to put you on the hot seat.
It's hard. It's hard. Just do it. You got it.
Yeah, I don't like to around friends. I'm very introverted, so I only open up to people who I really feel comfortable around. You know, that's when I come out, and opening up this much is kind of hard for me. But like I said, I do the best I can.
You're doing an excellent job, sir.
Yeah.
You know, do you think it would make him feel better if he joined the Hat Club? Don't you think?
You know, it's been known to work.
Well, it has been known.
I have my hat. You know, people are like,
we christened die, Jason of.
I feel like old school when like Will Ferrell was drunk and Snoop was singing.
You like that?
Snoop, oop, a doop.
What?
Here's your hat.
There we go.
You know?
We'll make him feel good now. Now we're in the house. What? So
I think I feel better with a bowler.
you would look better with a
I
boulder.
feel better with a bowler.
I think I know what we're gonna do. We're getting this man a boulder hat.
Bowler hat.
Yes.
Okay.
If you don't want to wear it,
And then I'm
don't.
going to start wearing like
You know,
old timey white shirts and black suspenders.
Don't
you know,
push
like
it.
the
No, I think you look good.
beer staining a little bit, so I
I
can
think
look like a tough guy.
I think. Oh yeah, get the little scar,
Yeah,
the
this
stub
this
cigar
one's-
going on.
that's-
All right,
Hello, Crossover Paranormal Society.
That's not my paranormal.
We're
person.
just
I know
breaking
you
it.
are. That's just not my personality. But I
So-
do like the idea of the bowler.
You like that, So crossover paranormal. Hello, and thank you for being here. Hello. How did GI Paranormal get started? What is GI Paranormal?
We are two veterans. We actually geared our. So my partner Matt, he's actually walking the Appalachian Trail right now.
Whoa.
He started down in Georgia and he's working his way up in Maryland. So it's actually the two of us. We met at the VFW through, a common acquaintance
Mm-hmm.
and hit it off. I asked him if he believed in that kind of thing, and he said no, and was very skeptical. And we did a couple of investigations I think his first one was at Belgrove, and you've never seen anybody jump a 13 by 13 foot room one corner diagonally to the other one after he got touched before. And he's like, "Is this a common thing?" I was like, "Just depends on where you go, man. You know, it's up to them. We can't make them touch you." He said, "I believe it now."
I like that. Is this a common thing? You never hear anybody
Yeah.
say that. Is this common?
Yeah. So now we decided to go ahead and just name the pair of us.
And when did y'all get started?
2019, early 2020.
Very cool. Y'all started at Belgrove, coming together, then it just kind of blossomed from there.
Yeah, it blossomed from there. You know, our first big investigation other than Belgrove, we went with FPRI, and at the time it was Covert Paranormal.
Okay.
Investigated a Ferry House plantation.
Tyler.
Pungo.
Yeah.
Tyler,
Okay.
Pungo and them. And the first thing that we ever like really heard together was, I think Nathan is the spirit's name. No, maybe not there. Henry.
I don't know. Ask her.
Is that right? Henry?
Nathaniel's at Belgrove.
Yeah, Nathaniel's at Belgrove.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're up in I think Henry's room, and we weren't getting anything, but we just told him straight, "Hey man, if you want us to go, knock on wood." And sure enough, right then we heard. And we didn't ask any questions. We just packed up our shit and left. Stuff and left. So, but I've I've had quite a few events happen to me.
How did you get into the paranormal?
All right, this is a story that
Not a story about Jed, right?
no, it's
Okay.
it's not even a story. It is the truth, and it starts at Belgrove.
Oh,
Actually, it starts with my wife, or girlfriend at the time, my wife now. We have been trying to conceive, and it was taking up forever to do it. So we finally had one that was successful for a while,
okay.
a little while. And around Christmas time, we told her parents, and I think sometime in January, we lost a child.
Oh.
We went to Belgrove Wounded Warriors Project
Mhm.
for a tour and a meal. I'm from King George, where Belgrove is. I grew up there. Always wondered about the mansion. I had friends that lived. Was actually the caretaker, and they lived in the caretaker's house.
Oh.
When I was younger, had never been inside the mansion, so I was like, this is a good chance to get into this.
Right.
So we got up there. I didn't realize how beautiful it was that day because it was real decrepit
Mhm.
for a long, long time. And to cut things short, get down to the meat and potatoes of it. I was sitting down to eat a delicious dinner provided by Belgrove, Michelle Darnell. Shameless plug. Great food. And this lady, as I'm getting ready to dig into my plate, stops me and just stares at me. And I'm like, the fuck is she? I mean, excuse me. What is she looking at me for? To owe you money? I mean, do you want to fight? You get stared at, especially when you're in the military, you've been out, you're like, like people eyeballing you.
Right.
And she looked me square in the face and said, have you ever lost any children?
Now,
I
this
didn't
was
think-
Michelle?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, I didn't put two and two together. And she goes, are you sure? I'm like, no, I did not lose. I've not lost any children.
Mhm.
My one is I get home with her mom.
You were thinking that the whole physical.
I was thinking
Yeah.
physical child. And then I kind of looked at my wife and I said, it can't be that. And when it actually hit me, the shock that went through my body was incredible. I couldn't hold anything. I couldn't move.
Mm-hmm.
And I was other than shaking, and I couldn't control the tears. Come to find out, our son had contacted her and told me, she said she wants me to tell you that he's with Grandpa. He's okay. It's not your fault. You didn't do this. It happened because I felt really bad about it, and he wants you to name him. And by, I guess, giving that name, it brought things full circle to where we had some peace with it. So we named him James Everett. No, Everett James. I'm sorry. Sorry, wife, if you're watching. We just got both names. And I've been at peace with it. I could feel him in my house. As if I was going to sleep, something would be beside the bed, and I'd say, "Come on, boy." And I could feel him or something, which I believe was him, crawl across me on the blankets and lay down in between us.
Okay.
So that's what got me really into the paranormal, because I didn't believe in it at first, being raised up in church, stuff like that. My grandmother, paranormal's evil, it's the devil, it's demons and all this other stuff. It's just kind of like, there's got to be something to it if it's, this lady who I'd never met before in my life told me that.
Just came out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of the freaking blue.
Dropping the metaphysical bomb.
And that happens. But even if you're like scheduled to have a reading and somebody, you're so enamored, like, huh? What? You get like this memory loss. And then suddenly you're like, oh, that's what that was. It does it to a lot of people.
But that's a valid point, though. What he just said. I mean, you take 2 points of the view. Do you have a missing child? You think about the terminology, what's been used, and we're like, you're automatically going to think about your children that are physically with you.
Yeah, not your spiritual children.
And then pow, comes out of nowhere. That could take us down an entire different rabbit hole altogether. We may want to leave that for the Enigma machine. Can children of said birth still be upon us? And we can
I
talk
think so.
about that later. You think so?
Yes, because of course after that we didn't stop. We took a break for a little bit to rest, and she ended up pregnant again.
Okay.
Lost this one fairly early in the pregnancy, and I was upsetting, but she kept feeling that it was a girl. It was going to be a girl.
Okay.
It was going to be a girl. It was going to be a girl, and we finally named her Nicole. From there, and the final time, and the successful time that we have, we ended up with our beautiful Bella Rose.
Oh,
This kid is me all the way because I'm retired and I stay home with her for the first 3 years of her life. And aside from my other daughters, like one of the greatest things that's ever happened.
Very cool.
So
Well,
that's how I ended up into it.
I think that shows how life can cross over both, and like Ron and I have talked about many times before, cross over to our physical, to our spiritual plane. I think that's awesome.
yeah. Hello, Kim Sage. Kim says, I had a miscarried baby come through during a reading. It was healing for me.
Oh,
Yeah, it felt great to me too, Kim. It was once I got myself straight from it all, trying to recover is not the word I want to use.
Come to terms with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And ever since then, I've been looking and searching and trying to find out some answers about what's going on.
yeah, because you're always looking for answers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we want to do. We want to try to find that holy, why, what's the purpose?
Yeah.
That notorious, what's our purpose here? So, yeah, totally get it. So let's continue with that. So that led you down the path of getting involved, and then so you started with the whole going to open public investigations, or did you start meeting up with people first? How did that all come about?
Well, I found out Michelle was a Marine too.
Okay,
We got a lot in common there.
Yeah.
And since she gave me that message, it's like I got to support this place.
Okay.
So over time, one Valentine's Day, my wife and I actually stayed there. While we were sleeping, her back was facing me,
Mm-hmm.
and something came and touched me on my neck while we were sleeping. And I was like, am I man enough to look? No, I'm not. So I just laid there stunned because you don't know what's going on. And then I felt it again and sucked it up once more and just moved the blanket up over my neck and I went to sleep. Tried to go to sleep.
Right.
So, and usually there is a lady in the room that we stayed, the Madison room, that we stayed in.
That's her, not me. I know a little bit.
I was going to ask you if you were in the Madison or the Turner. We get a lot in both.
It's in the Madison room, and that's
okay.
Unless you have anything, I don't want to keep. I feel like I'm rambling. So
you're not rambling.
No, you're not.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling. So anyway, continue on. Get this
ramble on.
Christ Almighty.
Yeah.
All right. So Michelle, when she first did her first Paracon, she hid these rocks around with riddles, and you could win like tickets for, I think, VIP tickets.
Okay.
For the Paracon that year, and I was dead set on going. Somehow I was going to find the damn tickets and go. One of the riddles, I don't remember exactly what the riddles were, but I remember where they were. One was at Lambs Creek Church in King George.
Oh, yeah.
And the funny thing about that too is when I was up until I was 5, I lived right across from that church.
Oh, wow.
And my grandfather had a key to it. And I don't know how familiar, you're probably familiar with it. The bride that is supposed to be in the church.
I have heard about that.
I think I've seen her.
Ooh.
Because my aunt took me in one day into the church, and there was a lady in white standing, kneeling down at the altar. Which I was 5, so I'm 46 now, so I don't really have that clear of a memory of it. But it felt real. So anyway, I called my friend. He worked in Fredericksburg, and I said, "Hey, look, they put out this riddle. It's in a knothole in a tree at Lambs Creek Church. I think this tree is like where the one single grave is." And of course, he was cool enough to go look for me, and somebody had already found it. And yeah, that busted my bubble wide open. Well, by happenstance, I got online, got on Facebook, looked up Belgrove again. Don't know why, but there was another riddle, and I was like, "Shit, I know where this is. There's a Poe Museum down in Richmond."
Right.
You know, we live here in Mechanicsville. It's not that far.
Mm.
I told my wife about it. She goes, "Well, go get it, stupid. Go find, go find a rock." And I'm like,
I thought feeling her and Sarah going to get along.
and I'm like, somebody's already going to beat me to it. That's just my luck. I have this thing I call the gray curses. Shit just happens to us. It just does. That's the way life is. And so she ended up talking me into going down there, and we're looking all around. We can't find this rock. And the sign that's at the corner, I think there's a tree there. I think they were like rebuilding the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? None of us moved any of these bricks. And sure enough, I found the rock.
That's
So
awesome.
it had been raining and writing. That was when I washed off and stuff. But I was like, you know what? I can just messenger on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, yes, you're right. That is the rock. It has an owl. I still have the rock today. It's at home.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That was so freaking cool that I had to keep it.
Now, FPRI did put on here, that's the first Paracon in 2019?
Yes.
Is that the one? Okay.
Yes, that is the one.
Yeah.
So I ended up going there for the night. I think it's Cano was one of the guys there. Amy Bruni.
Oh, yeah, this is the one you were telling me about.
Amy Bruni and what's that guy that hangs out with her? Adam?
Yeah, Amy and Adam.
Yeah, Adam. I don't remember his last name. But I much rather would have met Chip. Well, I think this is before he was part of the show.
Chip Coffee?
Chip Coffee.
Unshameless plug.
Unshameless. I like him. I mean, just watching him on the show and when Leslie, what's that other guy's name? American Horror Story that kind of portrayed him. Leslie Mann.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, they're both
FPRI.
great.
There you go.
Adam Berry.
There you go. Thank you, John or Sindra, which one it is. Which one of you it is.
I got to meet them. Got to meet some other people I didn't know. MJ Dixon.
Yep.
Sweetheart, love her to death.
She's awesome.
Whenever she comes to Belgrove, I end up missing her. Let's see, was the Ghost Finders? Rob Thompson and Megan were there, which was pretty cool to watch them go through the caretaker's house. So anyway, I'm walking around the grounds of Belgrove, and I'm feeling something on me. Like, it wasn't my feelings.
Okay.
I guess something being projected onto me. And as I kept walking around the mansion, outside of it, it got worse and worse.
Okay.
Well, Janet Shackelford was doing public readings. And I was in the audience and stuff like that. And by this time, it was like, Jesus Christ, what is going on? And I'm going to ask her, somebody's following me? Who is it that is following me?
Right.
And I got picked to ask the question. When I tried to, I could not talk. Every time I tried to talk, just to ask her who was following me.
Yeah.
I was sobbing. I couldn't get anything out. So she started looking at me funny, and I went to my wife and said, what I want to know. Go ahead and tell her.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, back table. And she told us, "You just want to know who's following me around." And she said, "Let me finish this, and I want to talk to you one-on-one." So I got to talk to her one-on-one. I said, "Who was following me?" She goes, "Well, he won't let me see his face, but he's wearing combat boots. He's wearing camouflage uniform, tan." I was like, "Okay." And he says he's sorry. And I'm like, it can't be.
Same thing.
The same thing from last night. My friend Jay, the earlier that year, unalived himself, as they say on the TikTok.
Yeah.
I got a story about Brian Cano later, but it just doesn't make me look good.
Oh, Brian Cano.
Cano, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was dying.
What? You were dying?
Laughing.
Oh.
It was uncontrollable. I'll tell you about it. So
I was like, what the hell?
Anyway, that's all I can think about is that now. So come to find out, yeah, it was him. It was Jay.
Yeah.
You know, I'd feel him in the truck, and you know, how do I deal with it? I love him being around. He's my best friend ever.
Yeah.
I just don't want to feel his feelings.
So let me ask you something while we're doing that. Did you notice that the light just got brighter?
I noticed the light did something.
Thank you.
Tell you what it was.
And we're not talking in metaphysical. I'm just making an observation as you're talking about it. The light right here just kind of illuminated a little bit harder, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I mean, we are at an active location.
We are.
But, you know.
I think it's interesting, Jason, that you came into the paranormal not like a lot of people do, wherein they've had some sort of encounter with a ghost, or they've had some sort of occurrence like that, or they've had a haunting, wherein you actually connected to spirit first. You were feeling a loved one around you, friends around you in spirit. That's kind of led you down the path.
Yes.
And I agree with Rhonda. That's a rare occasion. Usually something strikes your curiosity, like a paranormal experience, seeing spirit, whichever, and you want to know. In your case, it's like Rhonda was talking about. You kind of embraced the idea and then pulled it, and now you're going with it. Is that am I going right with that one?
Yeah. It's more of, rather than you having a haunting or you having some experience where you saw something that frightened you or that was unexplained. It was more so you've tapped into your spiritual side, recognized with the help of some others that you've got some, spirits with you, family, guides, ancestors, that kind of thing. That's made you go, I want to dig a little bit deeper and understand, what do they want? How can I help?
Well, and come to find out, I also spoke to MJ Dixon about this guy, because when I don't like to take just one source of information for gospel. I want to find out if book A says the same thing as book B. And I don't communicate. When I go to try to verify something, I don't describe anything about what happened to me with the other person.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's why we work really well together when we're in the field.
I say, but I will tell them someone is following me. I don't know who it is, and MJ pretty much described him the same way that Jay Marie did, the Shagopher did.
Yeah, we call it feeding the medium, and you're not doing that. You're just saying, I've got an experience. Can you tell me more about it, and seeing if it makes sense to you?
Yeah, and whenever I try to be with my answers when they ask questions, I try to be as vague as possible with them, so that only information that I know, or whoever's moved on.
I think you do that in the field too. You're really good at that. You're really good about not. Most people have to sit up and say, especially if we're in a bigger group, and like, careful the leading, just like Dennis was talking about last night. Careful about leading your crew and all that. You're really good about communicating without giving the shot out. Well, yeah, we've been experiencing that. We've started a new show.
Yeah.
And we're going to be honest with it. The new show is a YouTube show, and it's called 3 Men and a Lesbian, with Sarah and Ryan and Sarah Hall.
Sarah, obviously she's the
medium and the lesbian.
And the lesbian in a relationship here.
Hey, that could be a whole new thing.
Like porno.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing. We've got our name now, the Lesbian Medium.
Bam. That's going to...
That, right? Give it to her now.
Band name.
Yep, do it now. Right. Y'all have to understand, we do have, amongst the four of us, we have a unique little ha-ha thing, and we're very open. So Yeah, that's one
I'll
of
do
the
it later
things.
because that's going to distract me.
Yeah,
I'll be thinking about this
I know.
lesbian medium or the medium lesbian.
One
No,
of
the
the two.
lesbian
Like,
medium. Lesbian medium is better.
So for the last 2 weeks, all four of us have been doing, really tight stuff here at the cabin and working together during the daytime. Oh no! What? Investigating during the daytime?
If it's
Yeah.
haunted, it's haunted.
Thank you. Right?
There's not going to be any difference really between day.
Exactly.
The biggest difference for me is ambient noise.
Yeah.
During the day.
Yeah.
That's.
I agree.
That's it.
I totally agree. Well, what I was leaning to is I've seen him in action. He's very good about not leading. He's really come a long way in that short period of time he's been in the field, from what I've seen and what others have told me. And I'm thankful to be running with him right now and doing the things we're doing. But I do see the experience. And someone had said earlier, I do believe it was John said about, and it was. I don't want to run that over.
Yeah, John says it sounds like John might be able to see spirit for real. I think it's also feel it as well. I think he can see and feel it. Whereas John has become very auditory. He hears it.
I haven't seen spirit, so to speak. I mean, like I
So
told you,
yours is more of a feeling. You feel it around you.
I saw her shadow. I think I saw almost a shadow over there.
Yeah.
When it came out, but
you definitely seen things in the woods.
Oh, well, that
So
light
maybe-
that you show me,
Yeah,
that
maybe
we
you
pointed
are
out at the time,
expanding.
but
Yeah.
maybe it's just doing it on its own or something like evolving, X-Men or some shit like that. Or,
All right.
I have started meditating a few weeks ago.
That's key. That's key right there.
See what's going on. Do I want to see it? Yeah, I want to see it, but at the same time, it's like
You're skeptical about doing it.
Yeah, because how am I really going to react? Everybody's a tough guy until it's time to be tough.
That's usually the case.
That's
usually true.
So it's like I have my man enough to look at this or see this.
Yeah.
It's like,
a perfect example is back in 2010, a gentleman was at the Exchange Hotel, and there was one of the investigations, and that man was a big man. He was all of easy as 6'4" and all of 350 pounds. And whatever got to him there made him run out crying. Wow. So I'm just saying, acknowledge. Acknowledge. And maybe that's the key, acknowledging that we have those. Maybe Rhonda, how do you feel about that? If we acknowledge that we have those feelings, maybe we're confronting them and allowing ourselves to be more open about it.
I would agree. I think I think spirit's also not going to give you what you're not ready for. They're not going to send something to you that you're not ready to handle yet. So, but I do agree it's kind of confronting those kind of things.
Agreed.
Most of what I feel is something's not right.
Mm-hmm.
When I go in a place. When Sarah was here, I think the summer investigation, we're about to go into the tree line.
Define Sarah, unfortunately, because we have 3 or 4 Sarahs. You're talking about Sarah Hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our Sarah.
Yeah,
Sarah
because
Hall.
people know Sarah as Sarah Casey, which is mine. So we need to clarify that.
So
we're just making sure we're fixing y'all up. It's all good.
Yeah, with Sarah Hall, some reason I felt I gravitated towards her.
Mm-hmm.
I have to talk to her. There's something about her.
Right.
So we get ready to enter the tree line, and my mouth is starting to fill up with spit, and I'm tasting copper. Spit it out or whatever. Guess what happens again right after that? Then 2 or 3 times it filled up, spitting it out. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm spitting all over the place. And and I'm spitting all over the place. And Sarah goes, well, there's a guy right there that got shot, and he's choked on his own blood. I'm like, Jesus Christ. That's one of the first things that I was, man, maybe I really do have something.
Either that or you got to walk through.
Yeah.
The spirit actually walked through and you left resemblances of residual energy in you.
Yeah. So that was bananas, haven't experienced that before until then. Which was amazing. So now, I don't know, Sarah and I kind of Sarah Hall and I kind of like this whenever we get together,
it's true. They're very connected. I gotta give that. They're very connected.
It's so odd.
Hey, Stefan, thank you for joining us. Hello.
What else you want to know?
Well, what about you poor guy? It's okay, dude. What about
Man,
some of
you're over halfway there, Jason. You're
No,
doing
he's-
great.
You've done amazing, dude.
You're
What
doing
about-
exactly what we want you to do. It's awesome.
Okay. All right. Good. What were we going to say?
Did you just rock your chair?
No.
Rock your chair. That was not you. You did not hear that. Okay. Alrighty then. Hold on one second. What's some of your fondest experiences that since you've gotten into the field, what are some of the moments you remember?
Oh man, I remember a lot of experiences have happened to me. I've been touched numerous times, had my hair pulled. I was accosted down here at the cabin last night, as a matter of fact. They were, rumors that there used to be a brothel
Mhm.
here.
Yeah, nobody there.
The word violated came across the spirit talker. And right about then,
Wow.
I felt this thing on both of my butt cheeks, like just kind of don't squeeze the charming, And I was like, holy. When things happen to me, I'll stand up straighter, but I don't say anything because I don't want to cause a scene, and I'm not going to go, oh my god, freak out like some people do. It's not about show. It's about, the context and finding it, and
Well, it's a little awkward to say something just grabbed my butt.
yeah. Well, if I'm
You are
comfortable,
touching my buttock this with spiritualism.
if I am comfortable around you enough, like I'll open up and listen. Kind of like now, I guess I'm comfortable. I won't shut up. Otherwise, if I'm like in a big crowd, I'll just fold in. When I investigate, I'm more likely observe. Unless I know what I'm talking about. If somebody asks me a question I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know.
Yeah.
But some of the experiences I've had is we actually stayed at Edgewood Plantation down here on 10. In Lizzie's room one time for Valentine's Day, and
Are you not hearing that?
I heard
The double knock?
No, because I'm talking.
It's like right behind. I'm sorry, y'all. I kind of freaking.
don't-
It's like 3 times already. It's like in the wall directly behind Jason,
Stop that shit.
towards the window. It's a ta
Huh.
ta, and I'm like, okay. And that's why I rocked his chair. I'm like, all right, that is not Jason. Sorry, y'all. I just had to confirm. I'm like, we're getting activity as we're talking.
Yeah.
So
So
wow, love this place.
usually when I go somewhere to have some history, I'm like, give me the most haunted room you have. You had the most activity. So Lizzie was a lady on this person, a female, that was waiting for her boyfriend to come home or whatever from the war. Obviously, he never came back, and she grieved. The kind of same story you hear about the brokenhearted woman whose husband or boyfriend never came back. So we checked lock all the doors. I'm very, due to things I've experienced in the service, I check everything before I lay down, before I go to sleep. The door was closed, the lock was locked, and we go to bed. Later on during that night, something comes and sits on the bed, which, you get that feeling when your animal jumps up on it, kind of pushes the blanket
Yeah.
through your body. That's what it felt like, except it was controlled, not like an animal. It was controlled like somebody sat down. And this time I was like, I'm going to be a man. And I looked. Nothing was there, but the door was open and ajar. Probably about an inch or so. Let's see. What else here? Not here necessarily, but
I
I've
mean,
been
you've had a lot of
to.
experiences, but you've had a lot here.
I've had a lot. Yeah, I've had a lot here. Melissa comes to me. She'll sit down with me. I talk to her like she's one of my own kids. I don't treat her indifferent. I don't like to try to make a spirit jump through hoops.
Right.
It's not like, oh, light this up. Can you light it? Can you cross this? Let's go talk to regular people. Hey, look, man, if you want to make this thing light up, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all you got to do is stand there. I'm not going to try to force you or goad you into doing it.
Yeah.
If you want to talk into my phone here on my recorder, hey, I'd love to hear from you, but we're going to put it right here. And if you decide you want to talk, you go right ahead. You know, dealing with like malevolent spirits, you know, I told them buzz off. You know, I'm not. But whatever's down here in the basement doesn't mess with me. Not because I'm aggressive towards it. I guess because I don't give it the attention that it craves.
Correct. You don't
No.
feed the fear and you don't acknowledge it. You do like you just
Yeah.
I'll do me, you do you.
Yep. And John from FPRI he was with me down in the basement, him, me, and Matt when we investigated. And it's about 3:00 in the morning. We're sitting together with our backs against the wall. And I'm looking around the basement, and it's like getting, I don't know any way to describe it, but it's getting darker without getting darker.
Right. Yep.
It is so freaking weird. I thought I was going crazy. So I'm like, let me see if I'm really seeing this. So I'll just stop. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Like I said, once again,
Yeah.
see if somebody else. So you guys see that? And they're like, what? It's just getting darker without getting darker. And they're like, yeah, I saw something moving around. And John, right off the bat, goes, it's right there beside one of the stanchions. And he clicks a picture. Sure enough, there's a light anomaly right there where he pointed. See?
Oh, there you go.
That was one of the craziest things I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just like I did it. It was actually confirmed
by another investigator.
Yeah, by other investigators.
And that's one of the key points is why we want to be around other people when we're investigating so we can get that validation. So
Yeah.
It's a smart move.
Yeah. Matt, now when we're here, what's the first rule that I've always learned about investigating is you don't taunt the spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one year, the first time I ever investigated here by myself, I'd been here once before that. And yeah, Ron, it was wild. John, remember my little REM pod that I got from Boo's Paranormal, quality gear at a quality price.
That's right.
Put it up in the back room up here in the cabin here, and it just, I mean, they were loving that thing. They wouldn't leave it alone. But where was I going after that? I forgot what I was going to say. I got sidetracked by John's comment.
I think you just talk about things in general.
No, you were talking about how it's better to have multiple people in there. Like we experienced that like 3 a.m. We had something that if we hadn't all been together, be like, we all just saw the exact same thing, you might not have believed it. But we all saw the exact same thing happen.
I'm like, and you know, sometimes I want to speak up, but it's like, okay, like you said, am I the only one? You know, so usually I wait, and it's like, damn, I should have said something first. You know,
let's acknowledge your better half is on. Julie Gray is in the house.
Hi, dear. How are you doing, honey?
We would acknowledge her being here, and thank you for joining.
And we've got a question for you, Jason.
Yes.
Why do you not talk to them?
Talk to.
I guess that's a good question. Are you talking about why does he not ask other investigators, or why does he just not talk to what he sees? I'm not understanding the question.
Yeah.
Could just clarify, please.
Yeah, because Michelle, that could go two ways. That's a good point.
Yep. And there are two answers for it. One is if you are talking about the malevolent spirits, like I said, I don't feed them. You know, I feel you. I know you're there, but I'm not going to acknowledge you unless something absolutely wild happens.
Okay.
You know, somebody gets scratched, somebody gets hurt. It's like, hey, and then it's like, hey, asshole,
right,
back off. You know, you don't touch people.
Right.
You know, I have the power, not you.
Now, could that be some of your upbringing when, you know, as you were a youngster and a teenager in church, or is that just something that's just innate in you?
What do you mean?
In other words, psychologically, do you not acknowledge the spirits as far as
no? I just when I see things, I point it out.
Okay.
You know, or I say, you know, a lot of my stuff has come from fears or whatever, come from childhood, and I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
So the spirits that I do see, I will talk to. Somebody just took like a breath. Was that on here?
Nope, that was not. I heard it too.
You heard it too because it was like right over here.
And the cool thing is we're recording it. It's live.
Yeah, that's scary.
It's like it could be the gentleman. It could be
It's like the
Rhonda.
first noise I heard tonight. I didn't hear any of that shit.
Yeah, Rhonda and I will tell you. We're taking just a moment pause. Gentleman sometimes will be there. Sometimes you can witness her up here. Majority of the time he's on the stairway. They'll walk the hallway here during our shows. It hasn't been so much since we're starting to do the distance because we're working with the show because of traveling. However, it hasn't been as intense since she hasn't been here. But there's still times that even the audience will hear it and go, "Did y'all hear that?" So yeah, this is natural for me on a Sunday night. Welcome to my club, buddy.
It's very rare on a Sunday if we were both there that we didn't hear something or something didn't happen. I don't know that there's been a Sunday that nothing happened at all.
No.
The good spirits. Oh, I don't talk to them. If I see them, I do talk to them. I acknowledge their existence. There is a Exchange Motel. Mm-hmm. There's a gentleman that stays, I think, on the second floor in the closet. Does not like for anybody to go into the closet or open it.
That's third floor.
Third floor?
Yep, third floor.
The classroom.
Yep.
Yeah, the classroom.
Yep.
I had like a 20-minute conversation with him. I mean, I don't physically hear what he's saying. And even mentally, I don't hear it. But it's like I almost know how to respond to what he's saying or what he feels. He'll stay in the closet because he's scared. He's afraid.
Yeah.
Like, look, man, back then, it was an issue back in the Civil War. Be a man, Also, you're a veteran. You've seen things. You've done things. All right. And there's no reason in the world not that you can't feel the way that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Ron says, Jason, you had a great conversation with him.
Yes. I try to calm him down, make sure everything's all right. It's cool, man. Matt and I were out in the train house that's out there, the exchange.
Yeah. Oh, the train depot.
Yeah, the train depot.
Yeah, Ben Shannon just
where they stacked everybody up in there.
Yeah.
And I went in there and I couldn't see them, but I could feel them being.
No, that was the original depot.
All around me.
Or was that the new depot?
The hotels here face the main road, and then there's like I
know, but it's been reconstructed. So was it the old? Do you remember if it was kind of decrepitating and breaking down?
No, it was.
It was the newer one.
Yeah.
Okay. It was okay. Cool.
But I could feel them around.
That's amazing.
And I tell them who I am. Hey, look, I do the same thing with any kind of military spirit. I'm Sergeant Gray, United States Marine Corps. What do you guys need? Are you hungry? Do you need food?
Yeah.
What kind of supplies? Questions like that have to do with why they might be there.
Yeah, questions why you would ask in the field.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
right.
a brilliant.
Are you hungry?
That's actually brilliant.
That's really good.
So do you want?
That's cool.
I have water. I can bring you fresh water right now. And if I have a bottle, I'll set it down, or I'll bring beef jerky. I've left that kind of stuff out for them. It's like I know that hardtack sucks.
Mm-hmm.
The salt beef sucks. It's terrible before it sucks all the water out of your body.
Yeah.
So, and
here's some. It's nutritious. It's actually male nutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I try to do that kind of stuff at the era where they might be.
Yeah.
When it comes time to investigate.
Well, we got just a few more minutes left in the show. We told you got this.
Yeah. You blink and it's over. Jason. So you did great.
It's usually, when you get in that role and how we talk and we embrace and pull you in, you don't even think about it. And that's the beautiful part about it. It's just like sitting down with a cup of coffee and talking with us. But what do you got coming going?
Bam! Coming and going.
Coming going.
Next Saturday.
Coming going.
I'm going to be at Sweet Springs.
Nice.
West Virginia. With Pungo Paranormal and Booze Paranormal.
Plug in.
That's awesome. Yeah. We're going to be there the very next weekend.
Awesome. Quality equipment, quality prices.
That's right.
Shameless plug. After that, April 6th, St. Albans.
Nice. Y'all just keeping rolling.
Keeping it rolling.
Good
and then we're going to roll. We're going to take, the summer off a bit. June, July, August, September. Got a double hitter right there. We're going to Hinsdale. And then after that, going to Wildwood.
Nice.
So we have some trips. Some trips. Wow, I actually lucked into this trip to Sweet Springs.
Did you?
Because Sarah just asked, "Hey, it's already paid for. You want to go?" And I'm like, "Does a frog bump his ass when he hops?"
Okay. I've heard that.
I don't know that I've ever heard that one before.
Feel free to use it,
Oh God. That's the one thing as I've gotten older, I don't care to travel all that much anymore. So, hearing you guys and getting you guys out there and like you get the experiences and hearing about this is really
this is learning.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I've never been to the Dutch Gap down here, Henricus. I've been there once during the day just to see what it looks like.
Done Henricus 5 times.
I've never investigated. I heard that the Indian chief down there, or Native American, or savage, or whatever the hell you want to call him.
There's so much to
buck wild.
It can get pretty, not to use the word, but it can get pretty ravishing, and that's not in a good way. That's not in a good way. But and other times,
I've been to the Dandy House.
There you go.
Yeah. Something came back with me from there. That's the only place I ever had somebody come back. It took me 3 days.
Is that the one you were telling me about?
Yeah, it took me 3 days to figure out what the hell was going on because I was sitting in my car. I was mad for no reason.
That's
I hate just anger, and I was like, something ain't right. Let me call Dennis Eslot.
Yeah.
Caretaker of the cabin, 360. He can hook you up with investigation data if you need to. And he said, you got a traveler with you. He's not anything malevolent, but and Dennis was telling me things that I had done. He said he's never been there, but he told me that, things that I did when I was there, or what did I see? So, I kind of confirmed everything, everything for me. So
that's incredible.
And he did the blessing thing and Dominus.
Yeah, Dominus Ominous.
And beat it. And, felt all right, man, after that. So.
There you go. See, it wasn't too hard. You made it all the way through.
I made it all the way through.
I want to say thank you for coming on with us.
That's no problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, check out GI Paranormal. This is Jason Gray. I'm Ed, and that is
I'm Rhonda.
That's right. And we thank you for tuning in tonight. Check out this week what our next show will be Sunday night. It's going to be very interesting. We have some great shows coming to you. Tomorrow night, of course, we have True Crimes, Mysteries Behind the Scenes. I'm not sure if Otter's Den is playing, but check out Otter's Den right afterwards. Yep, I heard that. Tuesday night, of course, we have Bag of Nuts with Susan Pixie. Yes, I love it. It's gotta love this network. We do have 2 network new shows coming out. We do have ufology show that has been confirmed as of today.
Yay.
That will start in March. A new paranormal show that will start on Sundays with myself and Sean. So we're got that one coming out. So keep a lookout, keep a ear out, check out what's going on. I mean, we're only going to get better from here, and that's the whole purpose. And we just want to say, travelers and those like, thank you so much for being here. Rhonda, thank you for being a part of this show as always.
I love it. I love my Sunday nights.
Absolutely.
Even when I'm faded.
GI Paranormal is on Facebook, but I haven't figured out Twitter or what's the other shit? Instagram and the whole TikTok business yet.
Need some help, huh?
I need a lot of help.
We're going to work it. See, he's going to help us with the network mugs, and we're going to do a little give and take.
There you go. Trade off.
That's right.
And do all kinds of merch.
The ASPS shirts are out, so we're excited. That's about to pump out too. So, travelers and those alike, thank you again. We appreciate you being here. May virtue be yours. Continue to help another traveler out. Be there for each other.
Good night. Everyone have a great week and be good humans.
Thanks for joining us.